And hello, 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 hello. There's so many buttons to press this week. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Anyway, hello, late tea time podders around the world. Good to have you here. We have got a busy one. Not only are we back on a Wednesday night, like the MO of the late tea time podcast is supposed to be, that we come to you as close to the first tee shot being played in each of the tournaments as we possibly can. So Wednesday night is the desired port of call. Sometimes me and DT just can't do it on a Wednesday night because our work conflicts with that. But we are here on a Wednesday night, and we are looking at 3 tournaments this week. We are not only looking at the Irish Open, we're going to start with that. We're going to look at the Solheim Cup as well. And we're also going to look at the Procore on the US PGA Tour. James, hello. Dave Tindall, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. Just squeezing this podcast in before I set off on my travels.
Yeah, you're off to NYC, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Go and see Joey Tribbiani and all those kind of people.
Yeah. Not sure I'm going to be doing that. But I'll be in America when the Solheim Cup's on.
Yeah. Are you not going to go to the Friends coffee shop?
No, I don't know. If I walk past it, I will.
Yeah. Go and see Jennifer Aniston and say hello from me. Anyway, shall we start off with the Irish Open, DT?
Yes.
We'll start off in Ireland and across the bottom of the screen. And for those listening, Rory McIlroy, he's the favourite, 7-1. Shane Lowry, 12. So the 2 Irishmen head the billing. Aaron Rai is 18-1. Old Bobby McIntyre, 18s. Rasmus Højgaard, 25s. And the rest are bigger. Where are we going to go with this one? In Old Ireland?
In Northern Ireland, one of the greatest courses in the world, Royal County Down, which often comes out number 1 in best courses in the world from so many people. I've never played it. It's kind of on my bucket list.
What makes it good?
Just the scenery. It's a spectacular piece of scenery. If you just Google some images of it, you'll go, wow. And it's just a great test of golf as well. I kind of got half an invite to play it, which I might act on again now. I've started playing golf again. But
to play the Irish Open?
Not to play the Irish Open, just to play County Down. But yeah, I'd love to.
Ad Stop Press, breaking news. New favourite in the market, Dave Tindall.
Yeah. He's a late qualifier. A space has opened up. But yeah, I mean, I had my kind of thoughts early on in the week about who might win, looking at the field on Sunday night. And I thought probably out of the top guys, I'd go for Robert McIntyre just because he's had an amazing season. He's won the Canadian Open with his dad on the bag. He won the Scottish Open, his home Scottish Open. So just the idea that, these things happen in threes maybe. And he was just a bit bigger price than McIlroy and Shane Lowry. So
when I was doing the prices along the bottom of the screen earlier on today, those prices were right at the time of me putting them in about 4 or 5 hours ago. Robert McIntyre was the one that stood out for me for exactly that same reason. He looks a good price and he's playing well. Yeah,
he's having just a sort of an amazing year, and why not let it continue? He finished the Tour Championship, I think, with a 64 a couple of weeks ago. So he's set up to have another big week. So that was my early thought anyway, earlier in the week. But this is all about new information, fresh information, late information. So,
well, if you want Robert McIntyre, he's 18-1.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't put anyone off that. But the late information. So they had the Pro-Am there today at Royal County Down, and I know who won the Pro-Am.
Dave Tindall, was it?
Yes. Not many people know this, but I found out. So the winners of the Pro-Am today, which I've had this before, where someone's like done really well, maybe like being the first round leader or even one off in his top 5, and then you find out, they won the Pro-Am. If only I'd known that. Well, we do know that now. So do you want the 2 names who won the Pro-Am today?
No.
Go on, build a suspense.
Go on then.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not obvious names, which is good, which means you've got scope to play them in different markets. But the 2 winners of the Pro-Am, combined with their amateur partners, of course, were, drumroll, Eduardo Molinari and Roman Langasque.
All right, okay.
No. So Molinari in particular won't be on many radars, I don't think, of late. Obviously, we know that he's a guy who played in the Ryder Cup once. Maybe the Solheim Cup taking place will just jog a few sort of memories of team golf. But he was 12th last week in the European Masters in Kranz. So why not? Why not continue that here? He has played. He has played well in Scotland before. He's won in Scotland. I mean, in Ireland, but he's played well on links courses before. So I thought it'd be an interesting run. So look at him for first round leader. I don't know if you've got some of the markets there.
I've got him. I found him to win the tournament at 300 to 1. So you get a nice each way payout if he comes in. Roman Langasque, by the way, he's 75 to 1. Best price to actually win the tournament. But
so Roman, just while you look up the next set of odds, Roman Langasque, I got a thing here from one of my Betfair colleagues, Andy, who's got a list of most points accumulated in the world rankings, most since May the 1st. And Roman Langasque is 7th. So you've got McIlroy has accumulated most world ranking points since May the 1st. McIlroy tops that. McIntyre 2nd. Aaron Rise played some great stuff of late, 3rd. Shane Lowry 4th. Tristan Lawrence, a South African, I think he'll have a good week. He's 5th. Thomas Detry 6th. And then Roman Langasque. I wouldn't have guessed that particularly. I know he did. What helps his chances as well, Roman Langasque, he's twice finished 3rd in the Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club, a links course. And one of those was July. That be obviously the reason why he got a bunch of world ranking points. But he's got form on links tracks, Roman Langasque, so he could be an interesting runner. And it can only help your confidence if you've won the Pro-Am on that course in difficult conditions as well.
Yeah.
So
right,
do you have a first round leader price? Are you in?
I have. Well, you've been rabbiting away. I've been looking.
Good.
Roman Langasque, you can get him at 80 to 1 with BetMGM. 6 places for him to be the first round leader. For Edoardo Molinari, 160 to 1 with Bet365. That's 5 places. If you want a little bit more than that in terms of placings, you can get him at 6 places at 125 to 1. So you can decide how close you think he's going to be to the top, basically, and pick your right price. But there are options there if you want to back either of those two.
Yeah, and as I say, been in this position before where someone sets the pace on day one, and then one of the commentators will say, and they've had a good week because they won the Pro-Am yesterday, and you go, well, I didn't know that. Well,
so
we do now.
Would you go 5 or 6 places for Edoardo?
I'd always go 6. I think the more places you can get for first round leader, because you'll often get ties.
Yeah, the 125 to 1, 6 places is quite a few bookies are offering that. If you fancy just the 5, then it's Bet365 at 160 to 1. But you'd be cross, wouldn't you, if you came 6th and you'd gone for top 5? So they're the picks then. So we fancy Robert McIntyre. Both of us like him at 18 to 1. But if we're going to get a bit more adventurous in terms of the Pro-Am, Edoardo Molinari, 300 to 1 to win it, 160 or 125 to 1 to be the first round leader. And Roman Langasque is 75 to 1 to win it, 80 to 1 to be the first round leader. Anything else for the Irish Open?
No, sit back, enjoy the views, get it on your bucket list. And it's be a great week. We've got 2 great weeks on the DP World Tour. We've got this week at Royal County Down, then we've got Wentworth next week.
Yeah.
And PGA. So exciting times.
Well, I've just put the satellite up into the sky because we are now going to be beaming in live from his pre-recorded session earlier.
Live from his pre-recorded session.
Our friend of the show often comes in if DT's away. Matt Cooper steps into the breach, and he is our woman's expert, isn't he? Ladies golf expert is Matt. Solheim Cup is starting as well. Here are Matt's thoughts on what's going to happen across the Solheim Cup this week.
Hi guys, yeah, just 12 months after the last Solheim Cup in Spain, we've got another Solheim Cup, this time in Gainesville, Virginia, at the Trent Jones Golf Club near Washington, D.C. It should be a really good match this year because there was quite a lot of controversy last year. There quite often is in the Solheim Cup. On this occasion, it was the fact that Europe celebrated a tie, which meant they retained the cup for the third time. They celebrated it in magnificent fashion, and largely because they were 4-0 down after the opening foursomes. They were still 13-11 down deep into the singles. So the fact that they treated the tie like a triumph was entirely understandable. But we can also appreciate that the Americans were slightly, I don't know what the word would be, narky, that the Europeans celebrated quite as wildly as they did, considering that they hadn't actually beaten them. That, in essence, is the first act of this year's Solheim Cup because the Americans are desperate to avenge that. Stacey Lewis has talked about it frequently. Nelly Corder already has done this week. There's a strange thing going on this week as well, which is that Europeans have much better individual records in the Solheim Cup, as well as, you could argue, team records, because Nelly Corder, for instance, is playing her fourth time this year, and she has never been on the winning side. Europe has won 4 and tied 1 of the last 7 matches. So they've got a dominance there. But a lot of the European players, their records have not been very good in the last couple of years. In contrast, the Americans, they've got a bit of points potential there if Stacey Lewis can just eke it out from them. And a couple of players who could be important, Lilia Vu and Rose Zhang in particular, they had so-so debuts last year, and I think they'll be better for having had that debut away from home. I think on home soil they'll do much better, and the crowds are going to be overwhelmingly American. So America are deservedly favourites, but they're actually quite short now. They're 4-7. So I think that's probably just a bit too prohibitive. If I wanted to support the Americans anyway, I would probably go for them to lead after day 1, day 2, and also the finale, the final day. And you can get 2-1 about that. In the top scorer markets, I really like Lynn Grant this week. Amongst the 5 favourites in this particular field, you've got Charlie Hull, who... it's my understanding she doesn't get on particularly well with Suzanne Petterson. You've got Georgia Hall and Celine Boutier, who've got poor records in the last 2 years of this competition, and Leona Maguire, who's got sensational record in the last 2 years, but is in poor form, and can she really maintain those high standards of the last 2 events? In contrast, Lynn Grant had a very solid debut, winning 3 of her 5 matches. The fact she played 5 means that Suzanne Petterson trusts her, and I think she probably should be favourite rather than second or third favourite. You can get 6-1 about her being Europe's top scorer. And I'm going to go for quite a big price in the American top scorer. Take it each way. You can get 12-1 about Jennifer Kupcho. She had a very good record in things like the Palmer Cup, the Curtis Cup. She had a very solid debut 2 years ago. I think being back on home soil is going to be to her advantage. She's got quite a nice record with a couple of players, people like Ali Ewing and Lilia Vu. If she can pair it with them and make points, I think she's got a really, really good chance of performing well. And an intriguing little final note, Stacey Lewis said when she selected her that Kupcho is the best fit out of the 24 players there this week for the course. So those are my 3 picks for this week, and let's just hope for a tight contest and a bit of controversy, and it should be a Solheim Cup like we've come to enjoy over the last 12 years.
There he's looking for his off button at the end there, but thank you to Matt for sticking up the Solheim Cup picks there. So he's gone 2-1 USA to lead after each round. He's gone for Lynn Grant. She's 14-1, by the way, overall to get the most points in the Solheim Cup, but 6-1 for Europe was his pick there, and also 12-1 for Jennifer Kupcho. So they're the picks of Matt Cooper for the Solheim Cup. Anything you'd like to add to the Solheim Cup?
All I'd say is Matt knows women's golf inside out. You won't find anyone with better knowledge. I think he's doing a live blog for The Guardian as well on Solheim. So, yeah. The only thing, I remember Lynn Grant won the Scandinavian Mixed once, which was the men and the women. Sort of, obviously she was off the women's tee. So she's got, it was a big stage. A lot of eyes were on that. So, yeah, I think she's a sort of big-time player. So I would endorse everything Matt says, but especially that Lynn Grant bet.
Give me a number between 1 and 5, Dave Tindall.
4.
Thanks to Manscaped. As always, thank you very much indeed to manscaped.com for their support of the Late Tea Time podcast. If you like what you see, then get yourself on manscaped.com. You can get, if you quote late when you check out, late for Late Tea Time podcast, you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping. And I've got stuff there. Look, there's mine. So, yeah.
Could I get one?
It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. So get yourself on there, manscaped.com. Not just saying it, I actually do use the stuff, so it is really good. So get yourself on there, quote late, and get 20% off, and get yourself free shipping. Let's go across the pond then, where you're headed, not to this actual tournament, but to the US of A, the Procore Championship, and the leaders in the market for this one. Wyndham Clark, 12-1. Sahith Theegala, who's rapidly becoming my mate, 12-1. Corey Connors, 16s. Maverick McNeely, should be in a Western, 22-1. Max Homer, 25s, as is Minwoo Lee, and the rest are bigger, Dave Tindall. Who do you fancy for this one?
Yeah, so over on the West Coast this time. I'm going to the East Coast. This is on the West Coast. It used to be called the Fortinet Championship. You're probably thinking, what's this tournament? I've not heard this one, but it's a tournament where they keep changing sponsors. So we're now in the Procore. We think we're saying that right. You were saying, is it Procore?
I'm just an exotic human being. So I was looking for the Procore Championship, but it's probably just Procore. Yeah.
I keep spelling it Procure with a U, but it's the Procore. So, yeah, over in the West Coast in California, and the course is the same that we've seen for the last 10 years. I think Silverado Golf Course. Quite a tight track, Poana Greens, quite a pretty course. It's in the Napa region, which is famous for wine, James.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like a bit of
I
wine.
am aware of wine.
Yes, good. Can I shock you? I like wine, as Alan Partridge said once. So,
yeah, Napa Valley. There was a film, wasn't there? There was a wine film where they went through Napa Valley. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
They've actually been asking the players, "Do you like wine?" During I don't know whether they're going to plough them with a load of the stuff. In which case, that would be good knowledge, wouldn't it? If I knew he'd been drinking wine the night before.
Just goes, I love it. I've been on it all week. Yeah.
So
if you're watching Maverick, I'm not trying to. I just picked you out at random. Yeah.
I like to say, keep an eye on it. And everyone in the field's Instagram accounts, and see how sloshed they are the night before. That's your tip how to get the winner. I actually have just one bet in this one, and I have to admit it's not bang up to date news. It's a story that broke on Tuesday for UK viewers. Really, it concerns a guy called Mark Hubbard.
Okay.
You may know his mother.
Didn't she live in a shoe?
Yeah, wasn't that a cupboard?
I don't know. There was an old lady that lived in a shoe. That's a different one, wasn't it? That was a different. She must be the mother of a different player.
Yeah. What did old mother? What was old mother Hubbard's accent? What did she do? She lived in a cupboard. Why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
We need to brush up on our.
We should know this, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
we should know this.
We know the name. But why? I hope it's nothing terrible. Are you looking now?
I am. I'm trying to find the lyrics.
Old Mother Hubbard lived in a cupboard, eating her curds and whey. Now I've mixed something else there as well, haven't I?
That was Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to give the poor dog a bone. When she came there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none.
Why? How did that make it as a nursery rhyme? That's just.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the dog was dead. She went to the undertaker's to buy him a coffin. That's a lovely one, this, isn't it? When she came back, the dog was laughing. It was an evil dog. She took him a clean dish to get him some tripe. When she came back, he was smoking a pipe. She went to I mean, this could go on forever because I'm scrolling down. She went to the alehouse to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair. She went to the tavern for white wine and red. There you go, Napa Valley. When she came back, the dog stood on his head. She went to the fruiterer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute. And there is more. If you want to know the rest of it, look it up, Google it, because I'm not going to read the rest of it out.
I had no idea there was more than one verse, to be honest. Yeah. some old Mother
You never
Hubbard.
quite know where the late tea time podcast is.
Yeah, some old Mother Hubbard information there from James. Quite entertaining. Anyway, well, this is an entertaining story as well for Mark, who presumably is old Mother Hubbard's son, not the old Mother Hubbard, but presumably is a son of Mrs. Hubbard. But he forgot to enter the tournament. He forgot to send whatever you have to do. And it's one of his favourite tournaments at the end, and he forgot to enter. The daft man. Do you know why? He said he had technical difficulties with his phone, i.e., which is a bit the dog ate my homework, isn't it? Basically, he forgot, didn't he? To be honest,
the dog features in that nursery rhyme quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's all linked, isn't it? So he forgot to enter, and then he sort of went, one of my favourite tournaments of the year. What can I do? I know what, I can enter Monday qualifying to see if I can come through that route. So they sent him off to Monday qualifying at a place called the YOLO Flyers Club.
You only live once.
Right? Yeah. And he went there and he won. Do you know, he won it. He shot the best score and a nice, happy story. And he's into the tournament. And it's important, this, because this is a tournament in California. It always seems to be won by someone with a California connection. So
just to break in, McNulty's come in saying safer than dogs in America after Donald Trump's stuff on the presidential debate yesterday. Yes. Anyway, this is in America, so they're probably not safe. Anyway, I don't know.
So a Californian, Sahith Tigala, who was born in Orange County, he won last year. Max Homer won the two previous editions of this event. He's a Californian. Cameron Champ in 2019, he won as well, California. So people who are either born or raised in California, went to college in California, they got a fantastic record in this event. And so Mark Hubbard, he went to college at San Jose State. Do you know the way there? There's a song. So he went there, and his wife.
The way to Amarillo.
Right. Yeah. You're going to read the lyrics to "Do You Know the Way to San Jose" now?
No.
No. And
I'll sing it instead.
Well, I'm going to say, in a previous times you wouldn't have needed a prompt to start singing it, but now you do.
Yeah. Carry on.
He's gone all shy. You're throwing.
I can't try to find the lyrics.
Okay. So yeah, Mark Hubbard, San Jose State. He said his wife went. She's from Sacramento, so she's got a load of family coming down to watch him. So there's the big California connection. There's this nice story where he got redemption by getting through when it looked like he'd blown it. And he's got, which is all nice, but he's actually got a really good record in this tournament. He's got a series of top 25s. He's got a good record in California. And he actually said he'd made his first 19 cuts of the season. So he was playing some nice golf. That he just near the end, he kind of fell away. But because he had to then focus on qualifying, he's sort of got his head back on. He said, by coming through qualifying, I'm really kind of zoned in again. So it could be, in a funny roundabout way, him missing the entry deadline as somehow could go full circle. So
presumably he's got his entry form to post off to book himself in, which he forgot. But presumably he booked his plane fare and his hotel though.
I don't. Well, if he lives local, I don't know. If he's staying with his wife, I think maybe they enter so many times. They just presume he's done it. He just said he had technical difficulties with his phone. I think he admitted he forgot to enter, but then he thought, "I will do it," and then he was too late. But from such,
I would imagine Scotty Scheffler and co. They probably have somebody that does that for them.
Probably, yeah. Or maybe they just left it to each other. But from such stories become, great tales, little sliding doors moments where, something that should have happened didn't happen. And then he's going to go by this, circuitous. What's the word I'm looking for? Circuitous route to get there. I don't know if you remember way back. Do you remember John Daly not a qualifier, but we've had qualifiers when there is one fairly recently, but John Day was like 7th alternate when he won the USPJ. Guys who get in at the last minute who don't think they're going to play, having whatever not got in or forgotten to enter. It can happen. I just thought it was quite a nice story, and there are reasons for him to play quite well given the local connections. It's quite a big price. I mean, it's the President's Cup next 2 weeks' time, and there's quite a few players: Tagala, Wyndham Clark, Max Homer, Minwoo Lee, Corey Connors, and Mackenzie Hughes. They're all playing this week. They're all playing in the President's Cup. So you could say that they're here to hone their games. You could say they might really be on it because they want to, really get sharp for the President's Cup in Montreal in a couple of weeks. I just thought when you look at past results here, the strongest sort of form line is that California connection. I mean, there are plenty of Californians in the field, but add in the nice story and add in a decent price, and we've landed on Mark Hubbard.
And Mark Hubbard, well, you can get him 8 places, 55s. You can get him 6 places at 66s. Shall we go with the more places again?
Yeah, probably.
Get him into the top 8 at 55 to 1. So
can we chuck him in first round leader as well?
Oh, you just demanding so-and-so, aren't you? Yeah. You do.
Because you're looking at San Jose lyrics.
Well, I mean, this is very true. And you do these things with some people, and they've got all the prices prepared already. But not Dave Tindall. He's got people that do it for him.
We like to sort of riff, don't we? Sort of riff off ideas.
80 to 1 first round leader for Mark Hubbard.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't remember the rhythm for the San Jose song, so I don't want to.
I was going to say the way to San Jose.
Okay. Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long. I'm a anyway. I need to
Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick, was it?
Yes. Yes, it was Dionne.
Dionne did a famous one. Frankie Goes to Hollywood did a version of it.
Did they?
There you go. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The things you learn on this podcast, eh?
What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Anyway, thank you very much, DT, and thank you to Matt as well, Matt Cooper, for sending us the by satellite the pre-recorded video for the Solheim Cup. So I'll just quickly recap. Irish Open, Robert McIntyre 18 to 1. We both fancy him. Eduardo Molinari and Roman Langaski are both. They won the Pro-Am. So DT fancies that to maybe have some kind of bearing. 300 to 1 for Molinari to win it, 75 for Roman. But you can get 160s or 125 depending on the places on Molinari. 80 to 1 with BetMGM with Roman Langask. For them to be first round leaders for the Solheim Cup. Matt's picks were 2 to 1 for the USA to basically lead after every day. Lynn Grant 14 to 1 overall, 6 to 1 for Europe top pick, and 12 to 1 for Jennifer Kutcho in the Solheim Cup. And for the Procore Championship, we're looking at Mark Hubbard, the nearly man who then wasn't a nearly man, 55 to 1, 66 to 1, depending on your places. For him to win, 80 to 1 to be the first round leader. So there are the picks on the Late Tea Time podcast this week. Just leaves me to say, Dave Tindall, that you enjoy New York City. I am going into hospital. So you're heading off for a holiday. I'm going into hospital. That's just wrong, isn't it?
Sorry about that.
I don't like the division of duties on that at all.
No.
Anyway.
Good luck with that. Anyway, good luck with your hospital.
Well, and you enjoy your old hollybobs as well. Contact us on Twitter at Late Tea Time Pod. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. As always, gamble responsibly. Check out our new website, lateteatime.com. And this has been a sports broadcast media production. I've gone through all the banners.
If we'd planned this, you see. But we've made it up, some of it. We would have said, you would have played out to 2 Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood with pictures of the Solheim Cup.
Yeah.
2 Tribes go to war, but we haven't planned that at all. So maybe you can sing it.
Shut your eyes, Late Tea Time Podders. Imagine that was happening, and we'll see you next time. 1, 2, 3.
always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.